welcome back. This is my reading vlog for February 20th. So this is everything that I've read this week and what I hope to pick up next. I didn't finish a whole lot of books. I think I only finished 4 books this week. First one was Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is the first book in the Farseer trilogy. I really enjoyed this book. This follows Fitz, who I would say that things just happen to him and he tries to make the best of it. You can tell that through all the horrible things that he goes through and the things that he has to do, he's just trying to hold on to himself and make sure that he doesn't get lost in the process. And you kind of see what how the struggle is. His struggle is quite intense and horrible things just keep happening to him. I'm excited to see what happens next in the series. It'll be a couple months before I pick that up though. But I did really like it. I thought Robin Hobb did a really great job of getting inside Fitz's head and just letting us know what he was going through and how lonely he was and how much he didn't really like what he was being faced with, but he just had to do it anyway because he didn't have any other choice. The next one that I finished, it's one of the Audible originals. It was called Tom Stranger, the Interdimensional Insurance Agent. And, there are just not enough books with My Little Ponies brandishing chainsaws attacking the Capitol. Me and my kids listened to this. It was real short. It was a couple hours long, and it was really funny because there would be some really great action, and there would be these epic fights, and then all of a sudden they would stop fighting, and the insurance agents would go in to try to negotiate what to do in the situation so that they didn't have to keep fighting. It was funny. It was hilarious. It made no sense whatsoever. You're just randomly having things happening all the time. The idea behind it is that every choice that anyone makes, there's hundreds of different scenarios that you can make in any situation, and every one of those creates another dimension. And of course, when dimensions cross each other and bad things happen, then you have to have insurance to protect your dimension from all of these other things that can happen. It does explain governmental spending really well. That's where all the money goes, is to pay for our interdimensional insurance policy. A third book that I finished was Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is a science fiction novel. It's about 7 people who go to this planet called Hyperion where there are aliens, and some people worship these aliens, but all these 7 people that are going on this pilgrimage are looking for, I guess, some kind of absolution or answer to their life. While they're making this pilgrimage, there's this epic war going on around them with other planets. So the humans are trying to wipe out every other species in the universe that might at some point now or in the future pose a threat to them. Because apparently that's what people do. We're nice, warm, happy, fuzzy-go-lucky beings in the universe. The next book I'm currently reading is We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver. This is a book. It's from a mother's point of view, and her son is a mass murderer. He committed a mass murder at a school, and this is after the fact. She's writing letters to her husband, trying to explain how she knew something was wrong with their child from the very beginning, and wants to know why no one ever listened to her. It's very... I guess I would say that this book really cuts to the core. It's someone trying to deal with a very horrible situation, and probably one of the worst things that anyone could imagine that's ever had children, that if your child was actually the person that did this type of horrible act, and how she trying to get through this situation and just live her life after this event. And it really goes into her struggle to connect with her child from the time that he was born, and all the problems that she had and everything she tried to do and how it never seemed to be enough, which I think most parents can kind of connect with, that often we think we do everything we can for our children and it never seems to be enough. Okay, alright. I'm enjoying it so far, even though it's super not happy Second book I'm reading is called Wayward by Blake Crouch. This is the second book in the Wayward Pines series. So this is a series about the town of Wayward Pines, and once you get to Wayward Pines, you can't ever leave. And there's more going on than anyone will let you know. It's kind of a horror book, kind of futuristic, and the town, while it seems perfect, it certainly is not. And if anyone figures out things or discovers the secrets, everyone in the town everyone gets a phone call and says, hey, we're gonna go after these people. They go chase them down, hunt them down, and then kill them in front of everyone. Super happy! Okay, next book I'm currently reading is Kings of Ash by Richard Nell. I'm almost finished with this one. This is it's a second book in the Ash and Sand trilogy. It's an epic fantasy. It's really dark. Has a lot of warfare in it and everything. Although, I guess there's only really two characters that I even care about. That would be Kale and Ruka, or just cut that part out. I don't know what he calls himself. And Ruka, and they're kind of... Well, Ruka is trying to conquer the world, I guess. And Kale is trying to save his family after Ruka has already attacked his country. So, but this one takes place kind of before that, so it's kind of a prequel in the middle of a trilogy. Because that makes sense, right? Okay, and the last book is a book that me and my kids are listening to. It's called The Fires of Invention. This is the first book in the Mysteries of Cove. This is a science fiction book where in the future people are not allowed to invent anything. We can still use the current technology that we have, but we can't invent anything new because inventing new things is bad, and it led to the destruction of the Earth before Cove, and anything new could lead to further destruction. Okay, it follows a boy named Trenton, and he wants to work on machines more than anything else. And he secretly wants to invent things, and he does invent a few things and gets in trouble for it. Let him know that he can't do that. He was placed in the food production industry, which means he will never get to work on machines, and he's super mad about it. But I think something else is going to happen because he's starting to uncover some secrets of Cove, or of other inventors. Alright, and the books that I plan to pick up next... the first one is We Are Many. This is the second book in the Bobverse. Really like the first one. It's about a guy who was cryogenically frozen, woken up many years later as an AI, and put into a spaceship where he goes around the universe making more of himself. His name is Bob. And so he makes a lot of Bobs. It's all about Bob. The next one I hope to pick up this week is called Roses of May by Dot Hutchinson. This is the second book in the Collector series. This is a mystery thriller. The first one had a serial killer in it, and how they found that serial killer. And he had a bunch of girls he called his butterflies, who he kept trapped in this garden and killed them, and would occasionally bring new ones. It was pretty dark, and I expect the second one will be just as dark. I don't know if it follows the same group of people or if it goes on to a different serial killer, but I'll find out. So the next books I hope to pick up are One Punch Man, and they're by One. That's his name. Maybe he's One Punch Man. I don't know. These are some manga series. I read the first 3, so I'll pick up books 4 and 5. There's a bunch of books in the series. This is about a man named Saitama who wants to be a superhero, and he has gotten to the point that he's like the most powerful superhero that there is. He can kill anything with one punch, which is why they call him One Punch Man. In all his work to become the greatest superhero ever, he has lost his personality, his emotions, and his hair. And you would think that this would not be a very exciting series, because why do you want to read a book about, or a series about, a superhero that is so overpowered that he just kills everything with one punch? But he's hilarious because nothing phases him, and he just messes with all these villains. And then finally, when he's like, okay, fine, and then he just smacks him, and they like explode. But I think like his journey and his sidekick Genos, who wants to be just as powerful, that they're kind of a great pair, going around trying to be superheroes. Okay, so that's all the books that I'm hoping to finish up and start next week. This week I did not bake anything because they had cake at the store on sale. I think it's leftovers from Valentine's Day. But that's okay because it's chocolate and I'm going to eat it anyway. So thanks everyone for watching. I post new videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Please like and subscribe.